Tony D and Little Joan with a bonus video about Twitter and a couple things I forgot to mention that I got to mention again to make sure. Joan is already out. Away with you, Joan. Okay, so first up, just to be perfectly clear, tomorrow I'm doing Super Saturday. It's not at the Mays Landing campus though. I've been getting emails all week, and like if you send me too many emails about something, I tend to ignore them because they kind of stack up, and I go, I'll read these later. And so it's not Mays Landing campus; it's the Atlantic City campus. It's pretty close to Mays Landing, so it wouldn't have been a big deal. But so the Atlantic City campus of Atlantic Cape Community College. Okay, so I updated the link. You can go to my website there on signings and appearance. Click it. It'll take you right to there. So you know. Also, again, to promote Comic Con 101, how to get your comic book written over at Clownfish TV. Now, so Twitter and what's going on with Elon and the new CEO. So in case you don't know, in case you've been living under a rock on Twitter somehow, Elon has officially announced his new CEO, which is this woman who is in the WEF. If you don't know what the WEF is, it's the World Economic Forum. These are the people run by Klaus Schwab who want to remake the world. And they essentially want to do a new brand of James Lindsay calls it neo-communism. Essentially, they think they can remake everything, and you will own nothing and be happy. You will eat bugs. I'm not making this up. This isn't Alex Jones craziness. This is actually what they put on their own website. They want a sustainable future, they say. And that implication is that, we're all going to do it. Yeah, we're all going to be eating bugs. We're all going to be recycling and doing the hard work. Except that's not the way it ever goes down, right? The people in charge, well, they'll still be eating fantastic food. They'll still be eating foie gras and wonderful steaks and sushi made from rare animals. We won't. Oh no, not the plebs. We're going to be eating bugs. Because bugs are good enough for us. Yeah, good enough for us. When they mean sustainable, they mean sustainable for them. And part of their plan, and again, this is not a joke, is to lower the population. And if you're wondering why billionaires are buying up farmland, governments have become hostile to farmers, mysterious fires have broken out in food plants across the United States and the world, I think you know the answer. I think you know the answer. Yeah, they're kind of trying to curb the let's say population. And right now they're just trying to slow things down. But see, these plans never work. They never work. And so when they don't work and people start to get mad, their response is usually pretty deadly. And that's what James Lindsay is warning. And that's why Elon Musk hiring this woman from the WEF is such a nightmare. I've called Elon Musk the smartest and richest man in the world, and I think he is, but that doesn't mean you can't make mistakes. That also doesn't mean that you can't be arrogant enough to believe that you could handle things, right? So I was just watching a little bit of the Lotus Eaters, and Stelios commented, well, maybe it's the sort of thing, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not really convinced of that. I also thought of that too. I thought maybe it was the Trump maneuver, like the Trump maneuver of hiring John Bolton and letting his foreign policy hijinks fail and blow up in his face to discredit him before you fire him, thereby sort of winning over the neocons, but at the same time discrediting them. Didn't really work out for him. But, and I don't think it can work out for Elon, because this woman, Elon has spent now months trying to get these woke morons out of Twitter, to get their hooks out of Twitter. This woman, I would not be surprised if she goes right back into it. And think on this too. There is probably a lot of code and things that they still haven't gotten out of Twitter. Things that are impacting the algorithm or whatever. I don't really understand it, but Elon made references to it over the course of the last several weeks. Now imagine the tech nerds come to her and say, oh, we found this bit of algorithm that's suppressing certain groups of people, let's say. Certain groups of people that maybe are a little hostile towards the advertisers. And they say, we should alert Elon. And then she goes, oh, you don't have to do that. I'll do that. You see how that could work? You see how that could work against him? Elon, if you're somehow watching this. Now, am I saying, is this woman dishonest? I don't know if she's dishonest. It's not even about dishonesty. It's about plausible deniability. Am I dishonest if I don't tell you something? Not technically. Technically, I haven't lied to you. I mean, you could argue that it's a lie of omission. But if it's not my responsibility, if it doesn't say in my contract I had to tell you every little thing, I can make the case, well, that wasn't part of my job. I was on to other things. If I have plausible deniability to say I either didn't know, or I was going to tell you, but it's not really my responsibility. I didn't think it was a big deal. You know, these things are the very things that started Twitter down this path, I think. You know, it started down the path of, well, we want to make Twitter a nicer place. So maybe, we're not going to censor people. We're just going to censor some people. We're just going to do a little tweak here. And that's the way I think it's going to start again. What is Elon going to do? Now he says, we don't need the money. You know, we're willing to take a hit for the money for free speech. I don't think he is. Quite frankly, after a certain point. And certainly she's not. So what's to stop her from not lying, but shifting things in such a way that he doesn't really see it until, I don't know, she's got contracts signed. And then the company's into, I don't know, $5 million worth of ad buys. And they've promised them a certain amount of clicks on only certain people. I've already noticed that because I haven't bought a blue check, that my engagement is way down. I don't know if you check the numbers on your profile. I used to never really check them on Twitter, but then Elon took over and I got excited and I started looking at my stats every month. And the month where the blue checks were really initiated, that's when I lost. I say I'm down to a 25% of what my engagement was previously. So I got a taste of the good engagement, just like Facebook used to be. Great engagement on Facebook at one point, believe it or not. And then, click, the spigot was turned down, way down. And now I basically get only people that are already subbed to me who bother to look at my tweets. You know, you can be muted, and there's a lot of people who just mute you because I'm sure they're sick of me promoting the Pineys. But engagement on Twitter is going to be an uphill battle, I think, just like YouTube. It's not going to be organic. It's going to be monetized and narrower. And who's going to get priority? Well, if woke WEF woman has her say, I imagine it's going to be people of color, diversity. We need equity in the digital world as well as the real world. Why not? I mean, it'll be a disaster, don't get me wrong, but why wouldn't she think that way? Uh, I've seen zero signs that she's going to be based at all. Oh, she follows the libs of TikTok. So what? She could be following her to keep tabs on her. She follows Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec is pushing E-Verify, which probably isn't going to work, and probably just turn into more surveillance on the average person rather than oh, it started out as a program to try to curb illegal immigration and hiring, but actually, it's a social credit score that monitors every cent you make from your employer. But that's another topic. Anyhow, James Lindsay has been taking a win, if you can call it a win, as he called this a long time ago. And Peter Boghossian has also been getting into the mix a lot recently, ever since he finally left Portland, or Portland University, I guess he taught at. So, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So, Elon, it's a shame, because a free speech platform would have been really great. But it's really the only one, the only true one is Gab. They've had a commitment to freedom of speech since the beginning, and as far as I could tell, they haven't censored anybody, because there's some crazy stuff on this one. So you can join me on Gab, Truth Social as well. Truth Social is a little more political. They do have certain things you're not supposed to say or do on Truth Social, but it is a short list. Some of it's very common sense things. Some of it is like, I don't know, criticizing the site or Trump or whatever. I think you can criticize Trump, but I don't think you can criticize the site. One of those kinds of things. Parler or Getter's still around. I actually get decent engagement on Getter. Now they have Getter Coin. I don't know. I'll have to verify that at some point. The only thing I don't like about Getter is the notifications are a little too much. I'm not quite sure. Well, there they go. Not sure what the deal is on that. But I think they're better in general than Twitter. They just don't have the engagement yet. And I think really, again, Twitter has nowhere to go but down again. This is going to be a huge blow, because who came back to Twitter? It wasn't leftists. They were already there. Leftists loved Twitter. I mean, only the hardened idiots jumped off of Twitter like before Elon took over. A bunch of them jumped off after he took over, and some of them jumped to Mastodon, and I think there's a new one called Tribal, a couple others. So Jack Dorsey has a new one. I think it's called Blue Sky. I think there's another one called Noster, which is more of a right-wing one. I mean, it's just atomizing the audience as much as possible. And who could trust some of these platforms? You have to be very wary, because you look at TikTok, which was really just a Chinese psyop in my view. Some of these other newer platforms that you've never heard of that are just suddenly popping up, they could be a psyop from Russia, any other country, and they could leave them untouched for a long time to build up their credibility and audience, and then slowly boil the frog. So be very wary on the internet, I would say. And as for Elon, I was super close to buying a check. I really was. I mean, I don't have that many followers, but I'm probably get to 3,000 at some point. But you can make a little bit of money on Twitter, I guess. Maybe I would make more money. Maybe I would get more engagement. For now, I'm not buying the check mark. I mean, as long as the WEF's in the mix, I mean, God, the last thing you want is to be targeted by them. Not that I'm in any danger. I'm not nearly famous enough, but why has Elon done this? I don't know. A lot of people say maybe they got to him. Maybe he was in it all the time. I think the likely scenario is Elon just thinks he can keep her on a short leash, and I think he's wrong. I think he's wrong on that. I think he'll have her on a short leash for a while, maybe a year, but when the campaign heats up, ain't no way she's going to step out of it. I don't think. I don't think at all. I think she'll use every opportunity to come down on anyone who promotes Trump. You make one mistake on the TOS, you're going to be gone or banned just long enough that everybody will forget about you. Maybe they turn down your engagement. Maybe they don't. It's not going to be the government. I don't think they're going to let the government back in. As far as I know, they're out, but they could still have backdoor ways into Twitter. Who knows? But I don't really trust anybody from the WEF. Not somebody who's an officer. You know, it's different if she went to a couple of meetings or whatever. She's in it. And in my view, that's unacceptable. So, I don't know what's next on the social media front. Guess you gotta just keep building up the alternatives. Don't forget, I'm on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. Speaking of alternatives. So definitely get your accounts there, because who knows how long I'm going to be on YouTube. Things are finally going well. And that's a sure sign. That's when I start to get like antsy. I start to go, things are going well. I'm actually going to make $100. I think next month I'm going to get a check from Google, which is pretty good for me and my channel. I don't have that many followers, but you know, I've been steadily going up in subscribers every time I do the live streams, doing the shorts, but I don't have any illusions. I think they could cut me off in a heartbeat. So please, even if you don't really go to it, make an account on Rumble, Bitchute, or Odysee. Rumble's probably, you know, going to be the next YouTube. If anybody can compete with YouTube, it's probably going to be Rumble. But I like the other two as well. I mean, Odyssee's good, and I think BitChute's good. So join me over there as well. And if you're upset about this, you know, look, things happen. Don't be upset. It's only Twitter anyway. You know, it's still going to be here. I think she's a danger. But, you know, hopefully maybe she'll be exposed as a fraud at some point down the line, and Elon could fire her. And that might be the move. Again, this all may be a 4D chess move on his part, and then he'll slip in somebody based and say, well, I had problems with your WEF person. I'm not having problems with the based person. Things are better. But who knows? Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and your bonus video of the night. Don't forget, Super Saturday is at the Atlantic City campus at Atlantic Cape Community College. Hope to see you there, and we'll see you again